Welcome to Object-Oriented Programming. In today's class, we will learn about arrays, strings, and vectors. Arrays in Java. Arrays are used to store multiple values of same type in single variable. Arrays are objects which stores multiple values of same type. Same type, that is the key point. Okay, it can hold primitive types as well as reference as well as objects. So you can create an array of objects or you can create an array of primitive types. Features of array. Arrays are objects. So it is not just like a variable. Array in Java is nothing but an object. They can even hold reference. As I said in the beginning, array can be of primitive type or array can contain objects. They are created during runtime. So arrays are created using new operator. They are dynamic, created on heap. The array length is fixed. That is a limitation of array. That means once you create an array with length x, at the creation time you are fixing the array length. After that you cannot increase or decrease the size of the array. So that is a limitation with respect to array. Let us see some examples here. I am creating an array int a square bracket equal to new. Then after new is the keyword to create the new object and object type int in bracket square bracket I am mentioning the array size. So this will result in an array with 12 positions and the array indexes will be from 0 to 11. And if I try to print, if I and the array name is a square bracket 5 indicates the value present at index 5, that means nothing but 6. Let us see the example of another two-dimensional array. In this case, int square bracket, first set of square bracket opening closing, second set of square bracket. Then this is the variable name equal to new data type within square bracket for in next square bracket I am giving 3. That means number of elements for the first array numbers. Okay, so this is a two-dimensional array which is having 4 rows and each row are having 3 columns. And if you see the array declaration syntax, int variable name, at the end I am giving square bracket. Here actually I am giving int, immediately after the data type I am giving square bracket, then variable name. Both will work, but recommended way is this one only, means immediately after the data type you have to give the square brackets, then variable name. Okay, that is the recommended naming convention. Now let us study the array declaration. We already saw that in the previous example. To declare an array, define the variable type with square bracket. Okay, variable type with square bracket. An array is an array. That is the meaning of this declaration. You can also place the bracket after the array name, means I can place the square bracket after the name, but this is discouraged. Okay, so in this way also you can create an array in Java. Compiler is not going to give any error, but that is not the recommended naming convention. So I recommend you to practice like this: data type, square bracket, then variable name. The brackets identify the array type and should appear with the type designation. Okay, here this will work fine. You are not going to get any error, but you always practice this naming convention: data type square bracket array name equal to new keyword, because you are creating a new instance of the array object, then array element type int. So the array is having 10 integers. Okay, so this is how to declare an array. Initializing and accessing array. One way to create an array is with the new operator. Previously we saw some examples where we use new operator, int an array. So okay, here int square bracket an array creates an array of integers, but at this time I haven't mentioned the array size. So I am just creating a reference variable pointing to an integer array. At this stage I am not creating an actual array because I haven't mentioned the array size. Now this is the reference variable for my array. An array equal to new. I am creating the object. The array elements will be of type integer. How many positions? I am creating an array with with 10 elements. Okay, this is the array creation. This particular statement will create an array to store 10 integer values. To assign values to each element of the array, I can access using the index. Array name square bracket index. This is fine. This is one way to store the values to the array elements. Okay, each array element is accessed by its numerical index. Okay, here I am printing the values. I am storing the value for initialization. This is not the easiest way. I will show you another way. In this way also you can initialize the array elements. Here I am just accessing the elements. So variable array name square bracket index. Index starts from 0 to n-1. Array length. Okay, in the previous case I said that okay, here you can see an example int square bracket an array. So an array is an array equal to, here I am directly initializing. So this is the easier way to initialize when there are less number of elements in the array. Okay, so here I am not using new keyword explicitly, but from this bracket actually I can identify how many elements I have to store. So it is actually having the same effect. Here the length of the array is determined by the number of values provided between the braces and separated by comma. To find out how many elements an array has, use the length property. To find out the array length, in Java there is a length property. I said in Java all the arrays are objects. So that object name dot length will give you the size of that array. Size means how many elements present in that array. Here let us see one example. String cars. Okay, this is having 3 strings. So if I print cars dot length, it will give output as 3. Okay, it is not going to give you the index, it is going to give you the actual number of elements present in that array. So in our case it is 3. Okay, this is a kind of jagged array where the number of columns for each row are different. So if I print a of 0 dot length means I will get the length of the first row. A of 1 dot length I will get 2. Okay, like that. A of 2 dot length I will get 5. So in this way you can get the number of elements present in an array. Multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array is an array of arrays. Each element of multi-dimensional array is an array itself. For example, int 2 sets of square bracket an array new int 3 4. So this is creating a 2-dimensional array, and each array within it its own set of curly braces. So if I have to initialize just see, this is another example. Int an array, first 1-dimensional array, second 1-dimensional array. So this declaration will be something like, okay, this is a kind of jagged array because two rows are there. First row is having 3 columns, second row is having 4 columns. Okay, system.out.print. Okay, print. Okay, if I print an array 0 length means it will be printing the length of this array, that is nothing but 3. If I print 1 dot length, index 1 is pointing to this array, so length will be 4. So a multi-dimensional array is an array of arrays. Iterating array elements. We can use for loop to iterate the array elements. Okay, in Java one more provision is there, for each. That is something new to you. Okay, here you can see a multi-dimensional array. Here I am creating one array, an array. First row is having 3 columns, second row is having 4 columns, third row is having 1 column. Okay, here I am printing for I equal to an array dot length. So to get the length of element, means length of the array. I am using array dot length. So here I will get this array is having how many elements? 1, 2, 3. So this array, an array dot length will give you 3 because 3 elements are there. Each element itself is different array. Okay. Now array of I. Okay. Array of 0 means I'll be pointing to this. Okay. Array of 1 means, so in using these two loops, I can print the elements of the array. That is using the traditional for loop. In Java, there is something new, means there is a different looping structure for each. So we will learn that in details when we learn the control statements. So here you can see the example. Syntax is like first a declaration. So that in the declaration tells that array element itself is an array. See, my array element itself is an array. So integer array. So int array, inner array name. What is the outer array name? So this is an array name. So this for loop will iterate through element 1, element 2, element 3. Within that I am giving another for loop. So this, okay, inner array is having elements like integers, int element. So I can print each elements of this inner array. So in this way also I can iterate through the array elements. Now let us see how you can copy the array. The system class has an array copy method that you can use to efficiently copy data from one array into another. So public static void array copy, object source, okay, which position, object destination, in destination position. So in this way you can copy data from one array to another. So to copy the elements of the array, you can directly make use of the array copy method. System.array copy, from which array, second position. So in this array, second position to, okay, copy to array, copy to array, which position, okay, 7. Okay, now from second position 7 elements. So this will yield, okay, second position means index 2, okay, 0, 1, 2, okay, this one C 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. In Java you can very easily sort arrays. See here, let us see this example. Here you have an array, int array. To sort this array you just need one line of code, arrays.sort array name. This will sort the array, so you can just print it. So to perform sorting and searching operations and all, in Java there are a lot of built-in functions, and programmer can focus on the business logic rather than implementing the sorting, searching, these kind of basic things, because for such things there are direct functions available. To use this method you have to import java.util.arrays. This particular class you need to import your program. Then arrays.sort method you can use. Pass the array name, it will sort it. To perform the searching operation, searching means you have to find out a particular element from an array. For that again you need to import java.util.arrays. So once you include arrays class to your program, so here this is the array what you want, from where you have to, okay, this is okay, in this case, and we are going to use binary search. So to perform binary search, precondition is that data should be in the sorted order. So first you have to sort it, arrays.sort, pass the array name. So you got the sorted array. Now you are going to perform searching operation on this array using binary search algorithm. So for the programmer, even without knowing how to implement binary search, he can make use of binary search just by arrays.binary search, array name and key. So this will give you output like index 3. So the index is 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. At index 3 you have value 22. So this is how you can perform sorting, searching and all in arrays. Now let us learn about strings. In Java, string is basically an object of string class that represents sequence of character values. An array of characters works same as Java string. So a string is nothing but an array of characters. As per Java doc, so the string class is coming under java.lang package. This package is getting implicitly added to your program. That is why it is not mandatory for you to add the statement import java.lang.star, because compiler is already performing that thing. This package you don't need to explicitly include, it is implicitly happening. So string class is implemented under java.lang package. Strings are treated as objects of class string, which represents character strings. All string literals in Java program, such as ABC, are implemented as instance of this class. Here, character, I am creating an array of characters. Hello. So using this array of characters, I can create a string using this syntax. String is the class type, reference variable equal to new string, pass the array. So corresponding to hello, it will create a string. Or I can use in this way also. I don't need to create an array of characters and all. Within double quotes I can give string is equal to hello. This will also produce the same result. So string class is implemented three interfaces: serializable, character sequence, comparable. Whatever methods are available in these interfaces are implemented in your string class. So you can make use of length, character, subsequence, toString, characters, quote point, all these functions along with your string object. String literal versus object. String objects are created using new keyword. Even for array, to create an object we used new, then the array creation. Okay, here also wherever in Java to create an object you have to use the new keyword. Then for string literal you don't need to use any new keyword. See here, string s1 equal to new string, string s2 equal to new string. Okay, and I am checking system.out.println s1 equal to s2. My strings are same, but if I do this kind of check, I will get result as false, because it is actually performing a equality check between reference 1 and reference 2. These two are pointing to two different string objects. Obviously the reference values will be different and this check will fail. So to check the content of the string, equality check is not enough. You have to use a different method. String literals are created by placing the string in double quotes. Now this is, see here s1 s2 are string objects. Now we are coming to string literals. S3 in double quotes I am giving Java. S4 in double quotes I am giving Java. And now if I perform equality check between S3 and S4, I will get result as true. Why? Isn't it something confusing? Because here for object I got false, but for literals I am getting true. Here equality is not checking the content of the string. Same. But then why I am getting true? Let us try to understand that. String literals are stored in a special area called string constant pool. So there is something called string constant pool. In that constant pool, for this particular string literal Java, one entry is added. That reference is stored to S3. Now you have to store the, you are seeing another literal Java. First it will check whether that particular string literal constant is present in the string constant pool. If it is present, just return the reference to that. Ultimately in string constant pool there won't be any duplicate entries. In string constant pool, one literal Java is saved and that reference is saved to S3 first time. Second time, when you encounter another string literal with the same content, you will get the same reference to S4. That is the reason why S3 and S4 are having same content, because in string pool both are pointing to the same thing. That is elaborated in this case. See, string S1 cat. So in string pool, cat is stored. In string S2 equal to cat, I am storing a string literal cat to S2, another reference variable. So in string literal, this particular string constant is already there. So S2 will be pointing to the same literal. So S1 and S2 both will be pointing to same string literal in the string constant pool. Now I am using new keyword. S3 equal to new string. Even though content is same, it is using new keyword. It is a string object. So it will be stored outside the constant pool. So new entry will be there. If I check S1 equal to S2, it will be true because both are pointing to the same entry in string constant pool. If I check S1 equal to S3, content wise both are same, both are cat, but the reference value will be different because one is in constant pool, the other one is outside. So both will be different objects. So that is the reason why it is failing. Now I am introducing an important feature of string object, means string literals. Strings are constants. Their value cannot be changed. I am talking about the string literals, okay? Means I haven't used, I'm not talking about the variant where I'm using new keywords. I'm talking about the string literal. So these string literals are immutable. That means once you create, you cannot modify that value. Okay, string buffer is the mutable version of string. Okay, just remember there is, by default, your string class is immutable, and string buffer, if you need mutable version, you have to go for string buffer. We will learn that in detail later. String objects are immutable, so they can be shared. In Java, string is a final and immutable class. String cannot be inherited, means string class cannot be inherited to your class because it is final, and once created, it is immutable. You cannot alter the object. Here, some examples are given. String equal to new Java 5. I used new keyword str1. Where is my str1? Java 5 object is stored here. Now str2 equal to Java 5. I am storing a string literal. Str2 equal to, that will be stored in the string constant pool, and str3 new string str2. Okay, I am str3 is stored outside because I have used new keyword. Now str4 equal to Java 5, again pointing to the same string constant in the constant pool. So two literals str2 and str4 are pointing to the same string constant, same string literal present in the string constant pool because the content is same. And that's why we are telling strings are immutable. So I cannot change the once I create this object, I cannot change change this object. Value cannot be altered. The length of a string is the number of characters that it contains. To obtain the value, there is a method called length. For the array, to obtain how many number of elements present in an array, you have to use a property, array name dot length. But in the case of a string, to find out how many characters present in a string, you have to make use of a method, string name dot length method you have to use. See this example, string str, this is a string. To find the number of characters present in this string, int length equal to string, which string? Okay, str dot length. So I will get the string length. Now another thing, see, earlier I mentioned string literals are immutable. String objects are immutable. What is the effect? But I can do string concatenation and other operations. Plus operator concatenate two strings, produce a new string object. Okay, means by joining two strings, I can create a new string. String str hello. I am creating a new string. Str equal to str plus hello. Means str plus world. Means I am expecting hello world. It is not modifying the original string hello. Hello is there in the memory. Now I am using concatenation, I am creating a new string. So that new string will be a separate entry. This is the a string object. On concatenation, it is actually creating another string constant in the memory. That is why I said it is immutable. Technically, you may feel that, okay, I modified my string. Initially, it was hello. Now it is hello world. But behind the screen, both are different strings. Hello is one string, hello world is another string. That is why we are telling strings are immutable. Once it is created, you cannot modify it. In concatenation and all, in backend actually a different string is getting created. That's all. And for concatenation, let us see another example. String S. He is plus age. Age is an int value. So this int value is converted to string 9, and now you are appending with another string. So plus is to perform the concatenation. So when you print this, you will get the line like he is 9 years old. Previously I mentioned using equality equal to, you cannot check the contents of a string. You can only check the reference value of the string variables. Okay, to check the content you have to use the equals method. Equals, there are two versions, equals and equals ignore case. These functions produces a boolean output whether two strings are equal or not. It has this general form, boolean equals dot object. Okay, here string s1 s2. So s1 dot equals s2 means it is actually checking the content. Hello is matching with this hello, so it will produce true. And in this case both are hello only, but case is different. If I check s1 dot equals s2, it will produce false because case is not matching. But there is another version, equals ignore case, so that will give you true. String comparison. Okay, starts with, ends with. There are so many string methods. The starts with a method determines whether a given string begins with a specified string. Ends with, this method determines whether the string in question ends with a specified string. They have the following general form: boolean starts with, pass one string, boolean ends with. So you will be invoking this like particular string dot starts with another string, or particular string dot ends with another string. In that way you will be invoking this. Here s1, okay, Java system dot out dot println s1 dot start with Java. Yes, it is starting with Java, ending with, to check. Okay, so the result will be true or false. Another method is there, compare to. In C program, you might have used strcmp function that was resulting zero non-zero values when you compare between two strings. This compare to function is a similar one to find less than, equal to, or greater than relationship between strings. If you use equals method, it will tell whether two strings are equal or not, true or false. But if you need the relative, whether a string is less than, greater than, or equal, in that case you have to use compare to. A string is less than another string if it comes before the other in dictionary order. A string is greater than another string if it comes after the other in dictionary order. So we are telling about the dictionary order. With respect to dictionary order, whether a string is less, greater, or equal. So here you have examples. Hello, s1 dot compare to s2. Both strings are equal, so it will yield 0. Like that you can perform the comparisons. In string comparison, another point what you have to take care is that equals to, this equals method and equal to operator. Equals method compares the characters inside the string. It is actually checking the content of the string. Equal to operator compares two string objects reference whether they refer to the same instance. So it is checking only whether the reference variable is pointing to same thing or not. it is not checking what is the content of that string. So that you have to take care. See here, s1 equal to hello, okay, s2 equal to hello. We have used new keyword in both cases. So you are creating two separate string objects, s1 and s2. So if I use s1 equal to s2, you will get false because both are pointing to two different objects. Whereas if I use s1 equals s2, I am actually checking the content of these two strings. Both are same, so I will get true. So that part you have to remember. String searching. To perform searching operation in a string, we have different methods. The string class provides two methods that allow you to search a string from a specified character or substring. So you can search for a particular character or you can search for a substring. Index of method searches for the first occurrence of a character. Okay, s1, here you have one string, s1 dot index of is. So it is actually searching for is. So this is the first occurrence. So it will return the index of this particular occurrence. Then there is last index method. So it will check from the end. Last occurrence, it will check for the last occurrence. Okay. Substring. Used to get the substring of a given string based on the passed index. The string substring, okay, returns the substring starting from the specified index. That is begin index and the extends to the character present at the end of the string. Let us see the example. Here str, a new string, okay, from, okay, see, I am printing for the substring starting at index 15, str dot substring index. So it will print the values from 15th position onwards. These are the important string methods: character at, equals, index of, equals ignore case, length, substring. Okay, so you have to be familiar with all these string methods because whenever you do programming, you have to very frequently use these methods. So the important point to take care is that for an array, to find the array length, you have to use dot length property, not a function. For a string, to find the number of characters present in a string, you have to use string dot length method function. Okay, that point you have to take care. Another thing, that is vector class in Java. In the beginning, when we learned arrays, I said array is having one limitation. That means the size is fixed. Once you create an array, you cannot modify the array size. So vector is an effort to overcome this drawback of array. Vector implements a dynamic array, that is growable array objects. That means its size can be changed after the creation. An array, it contains less elements that can be accessed using an integer index. Sorry, like an array, it contains elements that can be accessed using an integer index. So it is similar to array only, but the important change is that it is growable. Its size can be dynamically adjusted. It is found in java.util package and implements the list interface. So we can use all the methods of list interface. As of now, we haven't discussed which are the interfaces available with list interface. But okay. It is synchronized, and due to which it gives poor performance in searching, adding, deleting, updating, etc. Okay, it is synchronized, so its performance is less. Its performance is poor. Contains many legacy methods that are not part of the collection framework. So this guy is not part of collection framework. Okay, vector proves to be very useful if you don't know the size of an array in advance, or you just need one that can change size over the lifetime of a program. Okay, so the limitation is in terms of performance. It is synchronized. That means only one thread can execute the object. If another thread is waiting means has to execute this particular thing, that thread has to wait. So in a multi-threaded programming, if you are using vector objects, it will convert the flow into, means all the other threads will be waiting to use this, using this object one after the another. So in that aspect, performance wise, it is bit slower. Apart from that, it is a growable array. Now let us see how to create a vector. Here is how we can create vectors in Java. Syntax is like vector. In angle bracket, you have to mention type, what kind of elements you need to store in that vector. Then object name, new vector, angle bracket, no need to give anything here. Then braces, not braces, this bracket to invoke the constructor. Okay. Now let us see one example. Vector, what type? Integer. Here I am giving the wrapper class. Okay. So it will be storing the integer objects. Vector name, new vector, angle bracket opening closing, then the brackets. To create a string, means vector with string elements, vector element type is string, vector name, new vector closing. So in this way I can create a vector, and the vector is part of java.util package. So if you have to use vector in your program, you have to import java.util.vector. How to add elements to a vector? To add elements to a vector, you can make use of add method. There are different variants. Add element, add with, means you can specify the index, add index element, or add all, means you can add another vector itself to a vector. See this program. Here you are creating one vector, vector mammal equal to new vector. So the type is like string. So in this vector you are storing string objects. At this time you are not specifying how many elements should be there in this vector. You are creating the vector without telling the space, telling the size. That is the key difference compared to an array. And now to add the elements to this mammals vector, use the add method. So using this method you can add elements. In this particular case I can add element at a particular index. If something is there, that will be moved to the next index. Okay, so in our case index 2 is already vacant, so I can add there. And add all method. See here I created one more vector, and using animals dot add all mammals. So I am adding all the elements of mammals into this vector, animals vector. So these are the methods to add elements to a vector. Now how to access the elements of a vector? There is get method is there. Then iterator concept, using iterator concept also you can access the elements of vector one after another. Here let us see the sample program. We are creating a vector containing strings. Our animals vector is created. 3 animal names are added. Now I am trying to get the animal with index 2. Index 2 means 0, 1, 2. So I'll be getting output as cat. Now using iterator, there is something called iterator. So we will learn that in detail in the third module. Okay, the syntax is something like, first actually from the vector I have to get the iterator. So iterate, okay, just remember the syntax. Iterate, type, element type is string, then reference iterator reference equal to animals dot iterator. Now using this particular name, iterate dot has next, I can access one by one till the end. It will automatically, using this method you can access each elements of the vector. So this is a common way to access many things in the collection framework and all. So we will familiarize this in the third module. Now, how to remove elements from a vector? There is a remove method, remove all method, clear method. Okay, remove all method removes all the elements. Clear method removes all the elements. It is more efficient than remove all. In terms of performance, clear method is better than remove all. Okay, here we are creating our animals vector. Now I am removing elements using remove method. Using clear method, I am removing everything. So this is how you have to remove. So this table summarizes the important methods of vector class. Add, clear, contains, first element, last element, size. Okay, this size method returns the number of elements in a vector. In the case of array, we were using length method. In the case of string, we were using, so for array, we were using length property. In the case of strings, we were using length method. In the case of vector, you have to use dot size method. Okay, that's all about vector. Okay, thank you for watching.